Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and greetings, everybody. My name is Nelson Brown, and I'm here as the host of the Beauty in Us radio. Now, today I have a really exciting show. I have a really exciting show for you guys. Today we're going to have a discussion. This evening we're going to have a discussion about women in STEM, in the STEM careers. Just in case you don't know what the acronym STEM means, it stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics. For the first half of the show, I'm going to be celebrating women with careers in STEM. I'm going to share some stats with you guys about women with STEM careers, and I'm also going to share some stats with you about the ways in which we can encourage girls and young women, young ladies, to pursue careers in STEM. But first, I want to celebrate the life and the legacy that Mae Jemison, the first female African American astronaut to be seen in space and to work in space. So I'm going to share some things with you guys. I'm going to share some info with you guys. I'm going to share some stats from the catalyst.org, workplaces that work for women. There was an article that was published by this organization who did research on women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM. And there's a quick take. This article was written on August 4th, 2020. And I'm going to read a little bit just to educate you guys on, the stats involving women in STEM with STEM careers. It says that science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, occupations are expected to experience rapid growth in the coming decade. Technology and engineering are among the top sought-after skills in the United States. However, a gender gap in STEM persists across the world. The gap begins in education, fueled by gender stereotypes and expectations regarding women's work. Despite similar achievement scores among children of all genders in math and science, men are the overwhelming majority of students studying STEM fields in higher education. The few women who begin careers in STEM face male-dominated workplaces with high rates of discrimination. Their contributions are often ignored. They experience isolation caused by lack of access to women peers, role models, and mentors, and they are paid less than their male coworkers. Women leave STEM careers as disproportionately higher rates than men, particularly among those who are working parents. Systems of bias that push women and people of color out of STEM careers can also influence the products and services created by STEM organizations, such as artificial intelligence. Organizational strategies to recruit, retain, and advance women in STEM occupations can help address these issues. Now, I read a little bit about the article from the catalyst.org that gave you guys some facts about women with STEM careers. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about a friend of mine who passed away a couple of years ago. She was pursuing a career in STEM. Her mom is scheduled to appear with us after the break at 6:35 p.m. So we're going to talk about the life and the legacy of Adara Davis. She was a friend of mine who grew up with me in high school. Unfortunately, she passed away on March 5th, 2018, but her mom and her family, her church community, her friends, and her school community have all banded together to celebrate her life and her legacy with a scholarship foundation as a way to give back to young people. I will be sharing some more info about Adara a little later on in the show, but for now, I want to read an excerpt, a poem from my second book, The Beauty in Us, Vulnerable Masculinity. I wrote a poem, and I shared this with her mom, so she knows. I wrote a poem about Adara and our friendship as a way to honor her and her legacy and the influence and the impact that she left on me as her friend. It's called My Beautiful, Wholesome Christian Girl. She and I became close friends in the beginning of high school. An athlete, a beauty with brains, an academic achiever, a girl I knew was cool. She had pearly whites that shined so bright. Her heart was filled with love. As Christians, we continued to climb ladders and break barriers, which was more than enough to conquer this chaotic place called Earth that lies within a crazy world. Now that she's gone, words cannot describe how much I will miss my beautiful, wholesome Christian girl. Having components of her God-fearing mother and God-fearing father, finding another girl like her will seem not impossible, but much harder. At only 19 years old, she had talents and skills to spread great vibes to lost souls. Instead of feeling empty, her infectious energy would make you feel whole, a humble attitude with optimism in her heart. After she went home to heaven, I thought, how can I live in this world without my beautiful, wholesome Christian girl? In college and at work, chasing my own dreams, without her here, it will not be as easy as it seems. But now she's in a better place. Wrapped in God's arms, she now has happiness written on her face. I hope her loved ones remember her as a role model for future generations. I'll remember her forever, and from time to time, with my kids, spark up a conversation about my dear friend, one I shed tears for and unconditionally love in this world. A standing ovation by the world should be given to my beautiful, wholesome Christian girl. So that's an excerpt from my second book, The Beauty in Us, Our Reality. The poem, My Beautiful, Wholesome Christian Girl, was written in order to honor Adara Davis, my friend from high school. We grew up in high school and earlier on into college prior to her passing. So her mom's going to hop on here to discuss the legacy that she's left and the foundation itself. But for now, I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about Mae Jemison. She was the first African-American female astronaut. Now, there was an article, there's another article by the National Women's History Museum that talks about Mae Jemison and her legacy that she's left. And I'm going to read a little bit of it, and I'm going to share it with you guys. It says, as a doctor, engineer, and NASA astronaut, Mae Jemison has always reached for the stars. In 1992, Jemison became the first African-American woman to travel in space. She has also written several books and appeared on many television programs, including an episode of Star Trek, The Next Generation. In addition to her many awards, Jemison has been inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame and the International Space Hall of Fame. As one of the only African-American students in her class, Jemison experienced racial discrimination in school. She later served as president of the Black Student Union and choreographed a performing arts production called Out of the Shadows about the African-American experience. Jemison graduated in 1977 with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Chemical Engineering and a Bachelor's of Arts degree in African and African-American Studies. After graduating from Stanford, and hopefully you guys hear that, Stanford University, Jemison attended Cornell Medical School. While in medical school, she traveled to Cuba to lead a study for the American Medical Student Association. She also worked at a Cambodian refugee camp in Thailand. Jemison graduated from Cornell with a doctorate in medicine in 1981. Shortly after her graduation, she became an intern at the Los Angeles County Medical Center and then went on to practice general medicine. Fluent in Russian, Japanese, and Swahili, Jemison joined the Peace Corps in 1983 and served as a medical officer for 2 years in Africa. After working with the Peace Corps, Jemison opened a private practice as a doctor. However, once Sally Ride became the first American woman in space, in 1983, Jemison decided to apply to the astronaut program at NASA. She applied in 1985, but after the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded in 1986, NASA took a break from accepting new people. However, Jemison applied again in 1987 and was one of the 15 people chosen out of over 2,000 applications. She was selected for NASA Astronaut Group 12, which was the first group chosen after the Challenger exploded. After being selected, Jemison trained with NASA and worked on projects at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida and the shuttle's avionics integration laboratory. She received her first mission on September 28, 1989, when she was selected to join the STS-47 crew as a mission specialist. On September 12, 1992, Jemison and 6 other astronauts went into space on the Space Shuttle Endeavour. This voyage made Jemison the first African-American woman in space. This team made 127 orbits around the Earth and returned to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida on September 20th, 1992. So I just wanted to unpack a little bit of that and just to ask everybody, if they had any idea who Mae Jemison was. I mean, if we think about it, if you look around and if we see the workplace, we see a lot of the college students like me, like myself. I mean, for those who don't know, I'm a sociology major at UMBC, but I know that we do have a lot of engineering majors at our school. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is really, really popular at UMBC. And I know that it's popular in other universities, not just locally and not just throughout the state of Maryland, but throughout our country. So I just wanted to see if you guys knew of any female engineers or any females that worked in the field of STEM. And I wanted to see if you guys were open to the possibility that, I think that women get overlooked in this field. I chose to dedicate this broadcast to women in STEM. I wanted to celebrate women in STEM because I feel like they often get overlooked. And according to the article that I'd read, a little bit of what I read, they are sometimes paid less. They're often paid less than men in that profession. So it leads me to believe that women aren't acknowledged like they're supposed to in this field: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But with all of what Miss Mae Jemison accomplished, throughout her career, she opened the doors for women in this field, and particularly Black women, Black girls, African American women. She went to Stanford University. She graduated. She has a doctorate in medicine. If we just think about that, and if we piggyback on that, let's just think about, how much of an impact that can have on girls nowadays when they can look at her and see how much she's accomplished. I think that it's really, really beneficial for all of us to encourage girls and young women, ladies, to pursue careers in STEM because they are just as qualified. They can get the credentials and they can get the skills and they can work their hardest to, work their way to the top like everybody else. I know of some women that have pursued careers in STEM. I've read articles about female engineers, and I've definitely had the opportunity to just meet a lot of women, in the field that I was interested in working in at one time. For those of you who don't know, the career that I used to want to pursue was to be an environmental engineer, but now I'm pursuing a career in the healthcare field. But nevertheless, I still have met and networked with a lot of people in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and a lot of them have been women. So it leads me to believe that, are we really supporting girls and young ladies when it comes to just giving them that influence and giving them that push to pursue that career? Because pursuing a career in any of those fields, whether it's science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, all of them can be lucrative. All of them will definitely put, money in their pockets. According to the catalyst.org, unfortunately, men continue to dominate the STEM workforce in many countries. Averaged across regions, women accounted for less than a third, 29.3% of those employed in scientific research and development across the world in 2016. Central Asia, 48.2%, Latin America and the Caribbean, 45.1%, the Arab states, 41.5%, and Central and Eastern Europe, 39.3%, are the only regions in which women represented over a third of the research and development workforce. The boards of technology companies, historically lacking gender diversity, are making progress, it says. When compared to other industries, including non-STEM, the representation of women among board directors in the information technology industry remains low, but had the sharpest increase from 14.8% in 2018 to 17.9% in 2019. And despite improvements at the board level, the technology industry still lacks women in senior leadership. And again, this is the catalyst.org. This is an article that was written by researchers from the Catalyst organization, from catalyst.org, about women in STEM careers, with STEM careers. So it says, globally, women account for only 16% of managers in the information technology industry. The gender gap continues in the C site, where women are only 3% of CEOs and 20% of CFOs. So it just has me wondering, so how long have we really, really, really overlooked And by we, I mean all of us. How long um, have we really, kind of overlooked ladies in the workforce when it came to science, technology, engineering, mathematics, when it came to pursuing STEM careers? I mean, I know I'm not sure if I have, engineers or people who work in any of those fields who are watching me right now, but do you feel like you overlook ladies in the workforce? I mean, do you feel as though they don't get the recognition that they deserve either? I mean, Mae Jemison is just an example of how valuable it is and how important it is to acknowledge women in those fields. I mean, she has a bachelor's degree and a bachelor's of arts degree. She pursued a career in chemical engineering. And then she also has a bachelor's of arts degree in African and African American studies. And then she went on to Stanford University to attend medical school. And she traveled to Cuba and she led a study for the American Medical Student Association. So she had an opportunity. She was granted a lot of opportunities, but she also broke a lot of racial barriers. So just think about how much of an impact we can have, in the world today if we can continue to fight against, racism and gender discrimination in the workplace when it comes to women in STEM, pursuing STEM careers. Think about how much recognition that we can give them. Think about the impact that they can have on this field. And Miss Jemison, shortly after her graduation, became an intern at the Los Angeles County Medical Center. And this was while she was pursuing her degree at Stanford, which is a really, really tough school to gain acceptance into. So I just want you guys to think about that and just feel free to leave your comments below. I will definitely do my best to read through them and to see what you guys think. Again, we're talking about women in STEM with STEM careers. And after working with the Peace Corps, and I've shared this already, but I want to repeat it just for people who are just chiming in. After working with the Peace Corps, Jemison opened a private practice as a doctor. However, after Sally Ride became the first American woman in space in 1983, Jemison decided to apply to the astronaut program at NASA. She applied in 1985, but after the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded in 1986, she took a break from accepting new people. Well, NASA took a break, from accepting new people. And then she applied again in 1987 and was one of the 15 people chosen out of over 2,000 applications. And she was selected for NASA Astronaut Group 12, which was the first group chosen after the Challenger explosion. After being selected, she trained with NASA and worked on projects at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida and the Shuttle Avionics, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the Avionics Integration Laboratory. And she received her first mission on September 28, 1989, when she was selected to join the STS-47 crew as a mission specialist. And on September 12, 1982, she and 6 other astronauts went into space on the Space Shuttle Endeavour, and it made her the first African-American woman in space. So think about all of what she's accomplished, you guys. I just want you to just think about, okay, we have someone who's broken barriers for us, who's broken barriers for Black women and Black girls in the field of STEM, being the first astronaut in space. She was chosen as one of the 15 people chosen out of 2,000 applications. This was back in the 80s. And just think about it, you guys. I know people don't like to talk about it, but just think about, how many more barriers that we can break if we can continue to encourage our little girls and our young women and our young ladies to pursue careers in STEM. And think about how much of an impact it can have on the world. I mean, think about all of what they can accomplish with all of their duties. Think about how much they can travel, how much they can experience, and how they can, show all of the girls after them from generation, between each generation, just a whole new world. So I wanted to give you guys, an opportunity to just think about that as we celebrate not only the career of Mae Jemison, but all of the women who are pursuing careers in engineering, science, technology, or math. Think about it. And currently it says, the womenshistory.org says that currently Jemison is leading the 100-year Starship project through the United States Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. This project works to make sure human space travel to another star is possible within the next 100 years. She also serves on the board of directors for many organizations, including the Kimberly-Clark Corp, Scholastic Incorporated, Valspar Corp, Morehouse College, Texas Medical Center, Texas State Product Development and Small Business Incubator, Greater Houston Partnership Disaster Planning and Recovery Task Force, and the National Institute of Biomedical Imaging and Bioengineering. Jemison is a member of the National Academy of Sciences Institute of Medicine and has been inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame, the National Medical Association Hall of Fame, and Texas Science Hall of Fame. She has received multiple awards and honorary degrees, including the National Association for Women's Intrepid Award and the Kilby Science Award. She currently lives in Houston, Texas. So the homegirl was killing it. She's been killing it since day one. She's been knocking it out of the park since day one. So I know that was a lot, but just think about it. Just think about, how much of an impact that this can have. I know I keep saying that over and over again, but when we switch gears for the second half of the show, we're going to be celebrating the life and the legacy of Adara Davis. My friend Adara Davis. We grew up in high school together. She was a part of the Automotive Services Technology Magnet Program at Western Tech. We're both of our Western Tech grads. We graduated in 2017. So we experienced and we have learned so much together. We had the opportunity to grow so much on our journeys. And I'm so glad and I'm so grateful for the opportunity that all of the other students have to see her as a role model. She was pursuing a career at Morgan. She was a civil engineering major. So she was headed for great things. So I wanted you guys to just, I wanted to, share a little bit with you guys. I have her bio. Now I know her mom is going to join us for the second half of the show. That's the plan. But I wanted to read the bio a little bit about Adara Davis before, we jump right into the foundation itself and before her mom is scheduled to come on. Let me take a water break because I said a lot and my mouth is a little dry. Okay. Okay. So Adara Verdell Ernestine Davis was born in Baltimore, Maryland on January 4th, 1999. Her doting parents, Leslie Davis Sr. and Latasha Davis, still remember the day she was born so vividly because she had a beautiful smile on her face. Adara kept that beautiful smile throughout her 19 years on Earth. She was a loving big sister to her three younger siblings and a role model throughout her life. Adara attracted people with the love of God and her ability to lead the way. Adara loved adventure and challenged herself and others to do all things in excellence. Adara was an honor roll student throughout her life. Adara attended Western School of Technology and was the only female, again I say, the only female in the automotive magnet and became the lead technician in her class. She completed ACE certification in brakes, electrical, steering, and suspension and engine performance. As a senior in high school, she was highly recommended for a paid automotive technician apprenticeship at British American Auto Care. Adara also excelled in sports as a goalie on the lacrosse team and a lead performer on the girls' basketball team. Adara completed her senior year as the president of the National Technical Honor Society. Adara went on to receive a full scholarship to attend Morgan State University as an electrical engineering major. Adara excelled as a student at MSU and was voted vice president of the freshman class. She was an honor roll student and continued to lead the way. A classmate of Adara at MSU shared with her parents how she spoke up at a campus town hall meeting and delivered a compelling speech on why the MSU library needed later hours. Because of Adara, the college extended the library hours for students. Adara was voted by the honor roll department as most influential freshman. This was an award she never knew she was going to receive. It was an honor to be invited to the honor rolls award ceremony and receive a beautiful glass award on her behalf. Furthermore, MSU presented the family with the honor roll sash. Adara would have adorned as a graduate. The engineering department also invited the family to the engineering ring ceremony and presented the family with the engineering ring. Adara would have been awarded at her time of graduation. Adara had only been a student at MSU for 7 months. MSU faculty made it clear that this was not just given to the family, but Adara earned it. When God suddenly called Adara home, it was a shock and heartbreak for so many people who loved her and who were driven by her motivation and warm spirit. However, Adara's life left such an impression that her life and legacy will live on. As her parents, this is quoting Miss Davis. As her parents, we have started a scholarship to help students pursue their academic prowess. Adara's father is the pastor of Clearview Bible Ministries in Randallstown, Maryland. We have created the Adara Davis Scholarship Fund for graduating seniors by awarding a $500 scholarship that is paid to each college in the fall and spring to assist students with buying very costly textbooks. We have also awarded $500 scholarships to graduating seniors at Western Tech who are in a STEM magnet. We are honored that Studio A Dance and Modeling Etiquette, owned by Adrienne Carver, official, changed the name of her junior Cantilino and Buccinio. Excuse me, please forgive me if I mess up these words, but the scholarship award to the Adara Davis Most Outstanding Junior Scholarship Award. Each year, thousands of dollars are awarded to up and rising seniors. Any money that is raised on behalf of the life and legacy that Adara lived will always go towards helping someone else live out their dream. I've included the criteria for the scholarship to help better paint a picture of the God-fearing young woman Adara was and how she led by example. Adara Davis's favorite quote was, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." And this is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I'm going to take a little break, but when we come back, I'm going to invite Miss Davis on so that she can give you guys a little bit more insight in regards to what the scholarship entails and how to apply, and even her role as First Lady of Clearview Bible Ministries and how the ministry has even honored her daughter in such a way, and how the community, Morgan State University, how they've honored her, and how Western Tech has honored her, and how much of an impact she left at such a young age. And even though, she's not here to see all of this, she is still remembered. So I really, really encourage you all to just stay tuned, and I will be right back. I'm going to take a little break. So, so go to the bathroom, drink some water, get your dinner or whatever you're doing right now so that we can sit down and talk with Ms. Davis a little more in depth. Of that, and free to leave your comments below. I will definitely do my of that, and free to leave your comments below. I will definitely do my Oh, hi, Miss Davis.
Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I just
Good.
went. I just went. I just went on a break. Um, I'm still. This is only my third week, so I'm still trying to figure out how to work everything. Um,
Sure.
so, I'm going to. In a few minutes, I'm gonna. I'm going to. Uh, log back in. I just shared. Information. I just read Adara's bio. At the very end.
Yeah, I was watching.
Okay, so I
Are we
just.
on right now?
I went to a commercial break. I'm not sure if they can still hear us.
Okay.
But I'm still trying to. I
I'm
haven't.
just trying everything.
Yeah, I took the camera off. So,
Okay.
I'm not sure if they can, but if, but I'm still trying to figure out
Okay.
how to work everything. So just bear with me. But
Sure.
I will definitely love to just and it's pretty open. I don't have any like standard questions. But I would just like for you to just share a little bit more about Adara and just the scholarship and how people can like donate money to the fund and how people can reach out to you or be a part of the ministry or how they can contribute in some way. And just to share your view about women in STEM. So if you're open to doing that, then I think that it would be great.
Sure. I think if we could just have a dialogue as we discuss these things, if that's fine with you as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to start in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Awesome God Radio.
Okay. Okay. We're going. Um, my mom just told me that they can hear us, so so I'm gonna log back on. I'm gonna start again. So like I said, please bear with me. I'm still trying to figure everything out.
Sure.
So I'm gonna log back on. Um, so let's see. Okay.
Do
All
you
right.
see me?
Yes,
Okay.
I can see you. I can see you.
Okay.
I was trying to. I was trying to make sure they couldn't hear. I was trying to get everything together, but it didn't work. But it's fine. It's fine. Welcome back, everybody. I have Adara's mom here with us to talk more about the scholarship foundation that I've just shared. And I would really love for Ms. Davis, I would really love for you to just elaborate on a lot of what I shared in the very beginning. I knew you were listening to a lot of what I shared with the listeners and with the audience. So could you tell me a little bit more about the Scholarship Foundation and just the process of just setting it up and how everybody can donate to this cause?
Absolutely. First of all, let me just thank you, Nelson, for this opportunity this evening. I truly appreciate you. You have done so much to help continue Adara's legacy, and as her parents, we truly appreciate you for that. So thank you for this opportunity to tell you about this scholarship foundation that we've started on Adara's behalf. Much of the information I wanted to share with you about Adara was actually already in her biography that you read so well. So I don't want to repeat what you've already shared, but we have created this scholarship. There have been several scholarships actually that have been created for Adara. And so one in particular is Studio A, and I heard you. You were announcing it's the annual scholarship cotillion and botillion.
Okay.
That Adrienne Carver, the owner and CEO of Studio A, she has actually she's been doing this cotillion for over 18 years, and she's always had an junior award scholarship that she's given out, but she's never named the scholarship. And she did name her scholarship. It is now the Adara Davis Most Outstanding Junior Scholarship Award. So that is a way that Adara's legacy continues to go on through her program. We are, of course, supporters and donors to this scholarship. That is one way, as well as you mentioned Western Tech, where I know you and Adara met. Um, we give out a scholarship to students. Adara was the president of the National Technical Honor Society at Western Tech. And so we have continued on to support students who earn their and complete their degree with a 3.0 GPA at Western Tech, who are in the National Technical Honor Society, to assist them with continuing with their education as well. And then, as you mentioned, my husband is the pastor, Leslie Davis Sr. He's the pastor of Clearview Bible Ministries, which is located here in Randallstown. And we as well have the Adara Davis most influential Christian scholarship that we give out to students who are just on the pathway to living out their dreams. And that is done by education, of course, is the key to many students in the STEM field. It's going to take a lot of determination and a lot of education.
Yes, I know that you shared a lot, but could you tell us a little bit about your views on women, in STEM careers? I know that I just shared some stats, and I shared the career about Mae Jemison. I would like to just know, like, where it started for Adara when she wanted to be an engineer. Like, when did she gain that interest?
Really, I would say she always loved the sciences. She always excelled in math from elementary. But when she left, graduated, completed middle school, and everyone, of course, are looking for magnets to be a part of. Surprisingly, she wanted to be in the automotive magnet. There were no other interests she had. She wanted to be in Western Tech's automotive magnet. So that was a surprise to her father and I. But Adara always loved new challenges. And so I would say high school, being, as you mentioned, the only female in the automotive magnet, being lead technician in the shop, just excelling, being able to obtain a paid internship as a student at Western Tech. She just did many remarkable things in that field. And she went on to Morgan State University as an electrical engineer major.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I messed it up.
No problem. You didn't mess it up. So it was just still in engineering, but just electrical. And so, we just want to keep her legacy alive and help other students who have dreams and aspirations of being in STEM programs. Adara always said she had wrote somewhere that she wanted to break the glass ceiling and for women in STEM. And many of those stats that you read off, that's from women who were just as determined and dedicated as Adara in the field, and was able to break some of those barriers that hold women back.
Yes, absolutely. I wanted to also ask about, like, her internships. I know, like, when we were in high school, like during our senior year, she told me about a lot of the internships that she had for her magnet. So could you tell us a little bit about her experience in that arena?
Sure. Let's see. Western Tech actually had a career fair at the school. And Adara told me that she had met this guy who was actually the automotive advisor at CCBC, and he was really impressed with her resume, and she had an amazing portfolio that she carried around with her. As you mentioned, she was certified in electrical and brakes and steering and service. And so she had a very impressive resume that she carried around. Grabbed the entrance of this particular person, and he recommended her for an internship at British Automotive Services in Columbia, Maryland. And she of course, the only female there. Um, and it was a great experience for her. And she was very honored to be able for someone to recommend her for such a position, because her boss told her that he was really impressed with her. So, but I don't think she planned on ever staying under the car. She just wanted to learn a little bit about it, get some knowledge, and move on to bigger and other things. So that's when she went into electrical engineering. And I could tell, yeah, she really had a good relationship with her professors. I mean, they were so incredibly supportive after her passing, and just spoke so highly of her. And as you mentioned, they give their graduates rings, the Circle of Excellence ring that you get at when you complete your degree. It's like a initiation that they do for their engineer majors. And so to be invited to something like that and be given the ring by the dean of the electrical engineering department, and say your daughter earned this, just told me how she was trailblazing at Morgan and how excited she was to be in the field. So many stories like that from the Honor Society. I'm actually presenting at her homegoing the sash she would have worn as a graduate of the honors program at Morgan. So she just left an indelible footprint wherever she went. And so
Yeah.
I'm excited for any other students who have that same drive to get out there in the man's world, as the quote, as they may see as a man's world, really is not always the case. And
Yes.
many women have proven that to be wrong. It's whoever is, like they say, slow and steady wins the race, and who has the ambition to make it happen.
Right. Yes, absolutely. What do you think? If she were still with us, what do you think Adara would? What do you think she would say as far as how to encourage girls and other young women to follow in her footsteps? What do you think
Mhm.
she would be doing now in terms of she would be wrapping up her time here at Morgan now? So what do you think she
Right.
would say to everybody right now?
I think she would definitely. She was in. I can't even remember the name of the program, but she was leaving campus to go to a inner city elementary school to mentor and teach math there in a program she had joined at Morgan. She was big on giving back to the community and reaching out to others. So she had even came up with, she was a part of a program called Y Lab as a youth. It stood for Youth of, it was a youth program that she was in, and she had the opportunity to write a scholarship, to write a grant to obtain a scholarship for this program she was a part of. And they said it was written, articulated so well that they couldn't believe that a high school student wrote it. So nevertheless, they didn't get that. But she would be out here spearheading something to find money, to find resources, to find new opportunities, and helping the next generation.
Yes, yes, and I definitely want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share this on my platform. And I want to thank you for just I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to be her friend and to just learn and grow with her along the way. She helped me out in a lot of ways, and she definitely made a lasting impact on me. And I know that I cried about this all day. I've been thinking about this all day long. So it's really a great opportunity. So could you tell
Well,
us
you
where
know
to?
you get me every time you come by my office, but I'm home now. My
Yeah,
prayer closet is not far away. I'm being strong, so you're not going to
yeah,
get me this evening.
yes,
But
yes,
I do
yes.
understand your sentiments.
Yes. So, what are some ways that people could reach out to you, or if someone wants to donate money to help, what are some of the ways that they could do that?
Okay, they can go to the name of our church again is Clearview Bible Ministries, and it's CVB Ministries. So CVB Ministries Ministries dot org, and they can donate through PayPal by going through our church webpage that we have. Then also you can go on Givelify. There's this great app called Givelify that many Christian organizations use, and it's only used to send donations to. Okay, thank you. To send donations to churches and you know ministries in that nature. So, and my husband was giving me the correction. I wanted to make sure I gave that email out correctly, but it is www.cvbministries.org. There you'll find our website, which will lead you to PayPal. And so any money that has ever been donated towards this foundation, the Adara Davis Living Legacy Foundation, can go in many different directions. It could go to help college students, um, students going into their freshman year, graduating from high school through the church, or whether from Western Tech. It could be donated towards the Adrian Carver Foundation that she holds. There's many different avenues that we use to disseminate and make sure that we're continuing to support women in STEM.
Yes,
Women and
absolutely.
young men.
Yes, absolutely. And I again want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share this on my platform. What are some of the words that you have for ladies, little girls that may want to follow in her footsteps? You personally, I know you told me what Adara would say, but what would you say personally?
Mm-hmm. I would say live your dreams, live out your dreams, and continue to keep your eyes on Jesus and trust Him in everything you do. Do all things in excellence, and don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do it, because with Jesus, all things are possible.
Okay. Yes, I would definitely agree 100%. But thank you so much for being on my show. Um, this is this is the third show, and I'm so excited. I'm more than happy whenever you're available. I would really love to welcome you back at another time so that we could see how much it's grown since then.
Absolutely,
So where
absolutely, and pastors available as well.
yes, yes. Yeah, maybe I can. Maybe he can come on next time. I'll see if he can come on next time. But so where do you see? One last question before we wrap up the show. Where do you see the Scholarship Foundation going? Like, where are the next steps? Or do you have any other place or a person or an organization in particular where you would like to, just reach out to help or to
Mm-hmm.
help it expand? Or
Mm-hmm.
have you guys have anything else in mind to bring broader awareness?
With all that's going on with this COVID, some of the dreams and foundations and or buildings that you may at one time had your eye on because you wanted to run a mentoring group out of, you have to now reconsider how can you reach people virtually, and how can you create avenues that'll reach, you know, as my husband say, from the uttermost to the guttermost, reach everyone. And so you got to be more creative now. So I just think the future will just be never letting Adara's legacy, uh, making sure that it lives on. And that's just so to answer your question, no, I don't have no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. What I see for this foundation, just continuing to help others um, reach their goals and their dreams and live out loud, live their life just full of potentials and on purpose, and driven minded, and just staying, elevate. I say elevate to graduate, elevate to education. Just always continue reaching. So, no, I don't have to answer your question. As you can see, no, I don't have one answer.
It's fine, but I again thank you for giving me an opportunity to share this on my platform, and for all of my listeners, I definitely I'm going to see if I can after the show. I'm going to see if I can upload everything to kind of help out so that everybody can know where to go as far as how to donate money and everything else.
Well, we just appreciate you and this opportunity and just all that you do. Again, you've been a tremendous friend and an amazing just support system to our family. And we just have, we pray manifold blessings over all that you do. And we know that God is going to do great things in your life. So I know more is in store for you. So I will stay tuned.
Yes, thank you very much, and I definitely appreciate everything, and I want to thank you all, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Up next is supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, the Rashad Mills show. So please tune in for his show. But I'm going to wrap it up. But stay with us next Tuesday. Later on this week, I will definitely upload the new show for next week's segment. But thank you again very much, Miss Davis, for coming on. I want to see if I can get Mr. Davis on next time so he can talk more about it, if that's
Anytime.
okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. All
You're
right.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Again, I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, I'm going to see if I can upload a picture of Adara and I so you can see. And I'm also going to make to do my best to give you guys all of the information that you guys need so that you can know where to donate money and how to invest in this foundation and how to invest in the fund so that we can encourage women and girls to pursue careers in STEM. So I want to sign off with something great. I want to just let you guys know that this has been a really sentimental episode for me. I know some people, I know some of you guys were able to hear me. Didn't do that quite right, but I'm gonna figure out how to do it. This is only my third show, so again, bear with me. It's a little dark. I forgot to turn on the light, but I'm still happy that I had this opportunity. I cried about this all day, you guys. So I'm glad that you guys had the opportunity to bear with me, and I'm thankful for the opportunity. You guys could be doing anything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting me. I still pray that this broadcast and that this platform continues to grow along the way. I will definitely see you guys next Tuesday. The Rashad Mills show, from my understanding, is going to be in a few minutes, but I want you guys to remember, don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Don't forget to, follow me on all of the social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I post daily. Well, I wouldn't say daily, but I do my best to upload everything so that you guys can have it at your disposal, so that you can go back and watch shows, and so that you can have all of the information you need to prepare for the following week's broadcast. So again, I want to thank you guys for listening. And don't forget, The Beauty in Us Radio airs every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. So next week, I'm just going to spoil it. Next week, we're going to talk about how to manage your faith, your finances, and your family. Again, I already have a flyer for this, but I wanted to let you guys know. Next week's broadcast is going to be a Bible study session. That's the small group and facilitator and me coming out. This Bible study session is about how to manage your faith, your finances, and your family. So again, I want to thank you guys for listening, and I wanted to encourage you all to tune in next week. I love you guys. I'm grateful for you guys, and please take care. Okay. Virtual hugs, virtual waves. I love you guys. And have a good evening.